A drunk hugs a Jew in a bathtub, then dies. A Star is Born on Stinker Madness. Stinker Madness. Stinker Madness. Stinker Madness. We got the Stinker Madness. We're back. We just got done doing A Star is Born, starring Barbara Streisand as Barbara Streisand and Kris Kristofferson as
Kris Kristofferson.
Kris Kristofferson.
Still sexy man.
Oh, was he?
Was he?
I think Kris Kristofferson is.
Kris Kristofferson.
Well, it's a hard name to say, but I think he's quite handsome.
I think he looks like a homeless man.
When you were peeing, I told Jackie that I would never forgive her for this.
It's really, she is on my shit list so bad.
Well, you know what it has done?
It's payback for all those goddamn karate movies that you make me watch.
No.
Oh, yeah.
3 years of karate
movies, yeah. Well, that's the thing is that now the pressure of picking a bad one is gone.
It's totally gone.
This has raised the bar to the point that I just can't imagine picking a movie worse than this.
I don't think there is anything out there that is worse on your eyes and ears.
Also, I think that we should institute a rule that if you're going to pick a movie over 2 hours, you have to defend it like you're fighting for your life.
Yeah, I'm good with that.
That was 2 hours and 20 minutes long.
20 minutes of pain and misery.
But it was all worth it in the end.
Was it? How?
Because... I don't know.
Now we've reached the bottom of the barrel and it can never get worse.
I mean, like, if it's like sort of like a hatred thing, like if you did that out of spite so that Justin and I have now seen a Barbara Streisand movie, then this was the only way to make us watch one, I guess.
Yeah, I think so.
No, I will be honest, I picked this movie to force Justin to watch a love movie that I thought was okay.
I don't know how you ever thought that movie was okay.
I'm going to admit now that when the last time I saw this movie was probably about 6 years ago, and I thought it was a much better film.
I don't know how you did that.
And I've seen it several times, and I kept thinking, wow, this is a really good movie. And then I watched it today, and I thought, what the fuck have I done?
You wanted to abort 10 minutes into the movie.
I did.
And we should all disclaim that this is an abort. If it wasn't for Stinker Madness,
I would not have watched this whole movie.
I wouldn't have started it in the first place. But if somebody had like, oh, we should watch this. I hear it's really good. Is it? I'm not really interested. No, you're going to watch it. I think it's 10 minutes in. It's an abort.
I would have been like it would have been an awkward, but like if someone was watching it, like people were watching it and I was there, I'd be like, I have to get something out of my car. And then I would have left. And then like 2 weeks later, I would have like showed back up and act like nothing happened. Like, just give it long enough that they sort of forget the fact that you left in the middle of the movie.
Never bring it up.
Never bring it up again.
Well, apparently a lot of people liked this movie because as we talked about on the Prelude episode, it made $80 million domestically.
Yeah. Adjusted
for inflation in today's money, that's $323 million, which is more than any movie made so far this year.
More than Captain America?
More than Transformers, more than the X-Men, more than any of them.
Wow.
Like, it's stupid amounts of money.
It's that Kris Kristofferson.
I'm telling you. On over and over again.
I think that it probably had like the Titanic thing going for it, where people, like 4 people just went over and saw it over and over and over and over and over again.
You know, I will say, I'm defending Kris Kristofferson because...
For what?
He was 40 years old. I looked this up when we were watching the movie. He was 40 years old when he made this movie. I don't know a lot of 40-year-old men that look that good in a pair of bell-bottom jeans with no shirt on. Most of them, you're like, oh, please, honey, your bitch tits are hanging out.
You're never going to convince me he looked good. He looked like a homeless person.
You know,
I am going to make you
look like a panhandler.
What the hell is the Paul Newman movie where he,
Cool Hand Luke?
No, there's one that Lee Marvin and Paul Newman, and they both shirt off, and they're both like 60, and I was like, Jesus, I never looked that good.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I think he did look pretty good for his age.
I think
yeah, but that's what I'm saying is he's no Paul Newman.
He looked like haggard shit.
Okay, apparently, I think haggard shit looks pretty good.
He looked like he was I know his character was supposed to be drunk the whole time. I really think that he was drunk.
He was drunk. On drugs.
No, it was one of the things that I forgot to mention yesterday in the point 5 was that he made a comment about like the director was hard to work with, and then the end of the comment was, "Well, I don't even remember. I was so drunk the whole time we were filming that movie."
He just looked.
He was wasted.
Bag of shit.
And I think he would have to be in order to touch Barbara Streisand.
The face touching.
When she started singing her first real tune in the movie, I had to take a normal shit. I don't know. She hit the brown note, and I was like,
I think
I gotta take a shit.
I had to poop. I think she is the brown.
I think she's the brown.
I was just like, and then at the end, I had to shit again when she was like going on that compilation or whatever. I was
yeah,
like,
I had to poop,
end?
and right now I don't, and I didn't. Like in between then and now, I didn't go poop. Like she stopped singing, and I didn't have to poop anymore.
You feel great once she stopped singing.
Yeah,
I mean,
but
I guess
I'm thinking she slips in the magic brown note.
Well, the movie starts out with.
Actually, we should do this.
What?
A guy that's sort of a washout meets a lady. They fall in love. They get married. He dies. That's all that happens in this fucking movie, and it takes 2.5 hours.
She becomes a star.
Oh, that's true.
That's not. But I really think that has nothing to do with the movie.
What is there's?
Like her career. Well, she just used him as a platform to go on stage one time. That's all that happens. Is he invites her out on stage one time, and then all of a sudden, instantly, she is a megastar. A star never gets born. It's just 1 minute not a star, the next minute a star, and then the movie isn't about that at all ever again.
It's really not even about her. It's about him, kind of.
I think it's about her.
It's about his star dying.
I think it's about her looking good. Like, you're supposed to feel sympathetic for her because he's just such a piece of trash, but
she loved him.
But she loved him and was loyal and forgiving, but really she just used him as a vehicle to launch her own career.
So, I'm not going to read all the lyrics, but there's going to be some lyrics that I'm going to read here because they're just...
You got some top 10s for us?
Well, just a little bit. This one was written by Kenny Loggins. And it is goddamn terrible. Here we go. Worry, exclamation point. Climbing up your money tree. You gotta hide it. Monkey do what monkeys see. Mm-hmm. You're on a one-way street, and you're speedin'. Missing the signs you should be readin'. That's the things you'll later be needin'. I believe in love.
What? And they just throws that I believe in love?
Terrible music.
I could read all, I mean, they were all this bad.
I think
kind
just
of like
every now and then,
some
once
highlights.
we talk about some bit of tunes, you should just interject them sporadically throughout the episode.
Okay. Well, I wrote a song inspired by this movie.
Okay.
Afterwards.
Uh-huh.
Life is good, but full of stuff. Stuff is hard, but stuff can be good, like pizza. Pizza flies like eagles. Eagles are like most of Russia and are free like spaceships. Giraffes are silly. Puzzles make my brain hurt. We can live together in the sky, where they can feel us with their eyes.
That's pretty much how this movie goes.
The lyrics and the songs don't make any sense.
And a lot of the dialogue in this movie
doesn't make any sense.
Fucking stupid.
It doesn't make any sense. No people have ever talked to each other like how these two people talk to each other ever in life.
I was watching a show about Prohibition and how, like, once they started Prohibition, there's just, like, children drunk in the streets. I imagine the lyrics to these songs being written by those drunk children. People who don't understand life yet and are drunk.
Yeah. No, I really think that the relationship between these two people is one of the most unbelievable things I've ever seen in my life.
You said something about George Lucas.
I think George Lucas may have written the love affair between these two, their dialogue.
I think,
when it's lovey time, it's written by George Lucas, because it's just like...
It was like George Lucas...
What did he just say?
George Lucas puked in that puke.
I've got some... I wrote some love dialogue throughout this movie. I'm paraphrasing, obviously, But he basically tells her that listening to her singing is like catching fish.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's like reeling in a marlin.
What is that, huh? Romance? And then he, like 2 lines later, basically says, you got a pretty mouth.
He says you have a pretty mouth.
A pretty mouth, yes.
Yeah, that's
Can we start over? You have a pretty mouth.
You got a pretty mouth.
Mouth, yeah, that's, well...
And then later down the line, she's like, we're moving too fast. Or no, he says this. We're like, it's really fast. I don't even know your social security number.
Mm-hmm.
I barely know my social security number.
I think that's the joke.
It's a joke?
Yeah.
Did you get any good lines from the bathtub scene where she's dressing him up as a fucking tranny?
Oh, God. It's
like
just
bedazzling his eyebrows and shit.
The other thing about this movie is I think that Streisand got a hold of the sound mixer. Because she is loud as shit through the whole thing.
Yeah.
You can't hear him at all, or really anybody else. Because I think he's mumbling because he's drunk. Like Busey, I couldn't hear Busey very much, but Streisand's like, whoa, I'm at a 10! You guys are at all 3s.
Because she's the star. The star of the show, Jeff.
She's the belter anyway. That's her style. She just belts shit out.
Yeah.
I liked how throughout this movie, there are obviously other actors in this movie with her, but she's just kind of using people as like props. Like
that's a really good point.
Like inanimate objects, they just happen to be in the shot with her as she is doing her fucking thing.
Yep, absolutely. Just a massive ego. Could you imagine a car ride, an hour-long car ride with Barbara Streisand in 1976?
Would she have her boobs hanging out like she did in this movie where all of her shirts were like...
Yes, no, doesn't matter.
Either
way, I'm pushing her out in 5 minutes.
We're just jumping out of the car.
Yeah.
She probably want to listen to her own fucking tapes.
I bet she does. I bet she drives around in a car listening to her own songs.
Oh, did you hear me do that right there? What'd you think about that?
I am so surprised
I recorded this for Linta.
Josh Brolin has been married to her for 15 years.
Are they currently married?
Yeah.
Wow.
Got married in 98.
Huh.
How long were they together before they got married?
I don't know.
Ugh.
I didn't even know that.
She is yucky.
Well, before, what was his comeback? Was it No Country for Old Men?
I would say.
I forgot he existed until then. It was like, oh shit, the guy from Goonies.
Mm-hmm. Right.
Which I didn't even see till I was 27.
Mm-hmm.
And now I'm like, that guy's married to Barbara Streisand? What the,
She's probably not, like, as look at me as much as listen to me. I think she's probably a listen to me now because...
I don't know. You have to think, like, we know that the costumes from this movie were her closet. They are very flamboyant, very flamboyant clothes that's pulled out of her closet for this movie. So I think everything she has is shiny look at me. Really. I really think that. I think that she is a hideous, deplorable person.
She's a spectacle, and I'm assuming that Barbara Streisand, in her normal life, is a spectacle.
Mm-hmm.
Like, she probably has a fucking bathrobe with, like, bedazzled rhinestones and shit.
You know what I've decided, though, but based off watching this movie, since it's bag on Barbara Streisand time, she's a goddamn mouth breather.
She is
almost every scene that you see her when she's not talking, she's like standing there with her goddamn mouth open.
Mm-hmm.
And you know it probably just reeks.
I do not think that she has any means or reason to be as famous as that she is. I think that there is 10 million other people that are better than that person is, and I think that she is just famous on a fluke. Because she's hideously ugly.
She was, I was reading, she started, recording when she was 13.
Okay.
So she was like the little girl that sings big.
Yeah, but there's like...
And then it just kept rolling.
There's another 50,000 of those little girls that sing big.
There's something to be said
all that Star Search bullshit. How come none of those kids are famous?
There's something to be said for self-promotion. I think her parents did her some favors as far as where they, being in the right place at the right time, and then
honey boo-booed her.
They just, the snowballs, and all of a sudden you get Barbara Streisand.
She's a parade. Her whole life has been a parade.
The whole movie, she's like showcasing herself. Mm-hmm. Like, she does not have a nice butt. No. She kept putting it in the movie, and I was like, oh boy. Yeah. That's not something to look at.
Mm-hmm.
Yeesh.
She's got a bit of a front butt, too.
Yeah.
I thought that we were going to get to see some Barbara Streisand tits.
Well, we kind of did.
Just a little tiny bit.
Well, there's not a whole lot to see.
No.
And they shouldn't be on camera. She should not be wearing those shirts. She's got the chest of a 13-year-old boy. Sexy.
A fat boy?
Yeah, kind of one of those skinny fat 13-year-old boys where it's awkward and they've got too much estrogen in their system and they get the bitch tits.
What is that called?
Bitch tits?
No, they had a name for it, like gynecomastia.
Wow, because that's not going to make the kid feel...
I know. It's like, usually the medical terminology helps. And like, you've got gynecomastia, and it's like, am I growing a vagina too?
Yes, son.
You are a pussy.
You might as well just get raped in the shower, because that's the only action you're going to get in high school, buddy.
All right, well, let's get into this.
I see faces covering an empty eye, empty spaces where there used to be a soul inside. Nothing and no one ever gets to them. Seems the wind could blow right through them. Believing in gods that never knew them. I believe in love. It doesn't make
Words.
Title of the song.
Words. Yeah, title of the song. So the whole movie starts out with the concert, the beginning concert, and it's like arena rock concert type attitude, atmosphere. The fans are unruly because Norman Howard is 2 hours late to his own concert.
Yeah.
So already at the start of this movie, his career doesn't take a decline. It starts out with him in the toilet. The toilet.
He's not doing himself any favor. He should be in the toilet because he's an asshole.
He is an asshole.
And his songs stink. And what I didn't get was
his
that, like...
song?
Yeah, they're putting it out. Well,
like
he did a second song,
and I think that's just a Dr. Hook song.
Yeah,
anyways.
that was what I was saying. Like, what I was about to say is that, like, it puts him out there like he's supposed to be like a one-hit wonder or something like that, and he's been touring this song. But then they do like a Dr. Hook tune, and it's like, which is it? Is he? Because a band that would do a song like that would be one that has other songs, and they're not really known for their hit. They'd be like guys that would want to play every night and shit like that. So it just didn't make sense.
No, it does not make sense. But he finally shows up. The fans are going apeshit. He starts playing. He gets halfway through the song, the first song, "Are you looking at me, looking at you, looking at me" song, whatever that one's at.
First one all the way through.
Well, that was his hit, apparently.
That's watch closely now. You'll observe a curious exchange of energy. Are you a figment of my imagination, or I one of yours? Which we didn't get the first part of that lyric. He never said that in the movie.
Huh. Well,
he just starts off as...
Looking at me, looking at you, looking at me?
No. Are you a figment of my imagination, or I one of yours?
Right.
That's and he doesn't even say it like that. He's fucking drunk, and so he screws it up every time.
Well, he stops playing, like, 3/4 of the way through that song, and starts mumbling in the microphone, and then he basically... The fans are like, boo! And then he's like, fucking go to hell. And then
he turns around and gets on his skull mask.
Like, everybody's suddenly in masks, all of a sudden... Doesn't fit with the theme of his first song at all. The song sucks. It's called Go to Hell or whatever.
Yeah, and it wasn't a Dr. Hook tune because there was, I think it was written by Paul Williams, who also wrote the Watch Closely Now. Paul Williams, of course, being the writer of We've Only Just Begun. Yeah, anyway. So it was made to seem like Dr. Hook. Right. Is what I'm assuming.
Right.
Because they were pretty popular in the 76.
Oh, yeah. Dr. Hook was a big deal.
I still like Dr. Hook.
I still like Dr. Hook, too.
Ugly guys.
That's why they had to wear masks.
I just looked this up for some reason. Why the hell was I looking this up? The ugliest bands of all... Oh, for the commercial. Yeah, because they were
Ugliest
on...
Men?
They had the Galloping Uglies.
Yeah.
But, yeah, so he puts on a stupid mask, does a stupid show, and he doesn't finish the concert at all. He doesn't finish...
We don't know that because it cuts away from them doing the Hell song in the masks, I thought.
No, he flips him off with the microphone.
Yeah.
Yeah. But I'm assuming that is the end of the show.
His two songs?
Yeah. Oh, God,
concert.
yeah.
Good concert.
I wonder how much that cost.
Well, then the next thing we see is Streisand is singing in a bar.
Some shithole.
With the Oreos.
She's the Oreo.
She's the cream filling in the Black Lady sandwich.
And I liked that she was like sassing it up during that scene.
Yeah.
Like, I'm sassier than these two black ladies. And it was like, no, I guess, but why?
Yeah.
Why do you need to be?
Did anybody else notice, though, that every time those two black ladies were on, they were both looking at her every time she started to get sassy, like, fuck you, bitch. You're like, not even doing it right. They were just like, oh.
I actually noticed there was a number of there was rolling dirty looks at her. Yeah. I think that she was probably a fucking rolling nightmare on this thing.
I am 100%. I would probably, well, I don't know, but I'm guessing I would have rather worked with Kevin Costner than Barbara Streisand.
I'm sure that, like, he's a problem or whatever, but he seems like a nice enough guy.
He's probably smiling every now and then, tell a fart joke or something. Her, you would just want to kill.
Yeah.
Just want to murder.
Okay, here we go. Would you rather work on a movie with Barbara Streisand or Tom Cruise?
I was gonna actually bring that up. Like, who would you rather pal around with for an hour?
That's where you're
I'm taking Tom Cruise.
Why didn't I put the poison tooth in my
Cyanide
mouth
tooth,
so that I don't have to make this decision?
We should all
die
at birth. You should get a cyanide pill capsule in your tooth, just in case
that comes
you
up.
have to hang out with Babs for an hour.
Or they do whatever, a cocktail too with Tom Cruise, Barbara Streisand, and you.
Oh, God. That's so bad. Good neighbor, bad neighbor, Barbara Streisand?
If living in between those two, boy.
Oh,
if you were the buffer between Streisand and Cruise, holy God. I bet, you'd go postal. You'd kill everyone.
You would have to put up an electric fence that wouldn't just shock them, but possibly kill them if they touched it. With little spikes that would jet out towards them.
Yeah, like you'd have a really gaudy dress that doesn't make any sense. That she was like, fishing bait. Yeah, you trap them both. And then on the Tom Cruise side, it would just be a mirror that's electrified.
A 3-foot tall mirror.
I'm a leprechaun.
A pot of gold.
Just a box of Lucky Charms. So, anyways, Kristofferson, after his concert, maybe, shows up at this dive bar. Drunk. And then has conversation with some unknown person.
Robert Englund.
Oh, no, before that. Before that.
The waitress, and she's trying to get his bottle from him because they don't have a liquor license.
Oh.
And he has chicken.
Yeah, he's got chicken.
Which is, I thought, again, it doesn't make sense. He's
got KFC?
He's putting it, like, you're putting the character out there that this is the kind of guy that drinks his dinner. Why does he have a bucket of chicken?
That he doesn't
That's
eat.
just getting in the way of him getting
He just swings it around and is like, want chicken?
Yeah. He offers the chicken to people. He doesn't
the chicken
eat
to people.
The chicken.
But he is talking in a normal tone. He's talking quieter than we are currently talking during a concert. I have been to concerts. They are quite loud. They're very hard to hear somebody talking as loud as we are even. But she stops the whole fucking show.
No,
and it's like,
she's in between,
excuse me,
songs.
sir.
She does it in between
You're
songs.
interrupting my show with your talking. She wouldn't be able to hear shit. First off, she's got 2 fucking monitors pointed right at her that have got to be loud as shit, or she's got a fucking ear monitor, and she can't hear anything other than her loud ass voice. Stupid. Like, how dumb do you think we fucking are?
She's like, you're ruining my set.
Yeah. Who cares? Sing louder or whatever.
Which he should have, and that's obviously because, she's the object of this movie or whatever, but a real life scenario would have been like, no, you're doing that yourself.
Yeah.
I
think
I made that
told
joke
her
during
to
the
go
movie
fuck
too.
herself.
Or a real life scenario would be like, hey, it's that famous guy that sings that one song about looking at you, looking at me, looking at you. Let's see if he wants to do a song here. Fuck this Oreos crap. These guys suck. Get them off the stage. Get the famous guy on there.
Yeah, but she wasn't going to surrender that microphone.
No, she was not. And so she puts on the most egotistical performance I've ever seen of anybody. Just look at me, look at me, look at me. Like, eventually, the camera pans
She's
in
doing a
to
thing,
just her. The Oreos cease to be, and it is just creamy Jew filling.
Oh.
Well,
Boo.
Well, she's a Jew, and it's creamy filling, so whatever. And then what's up with fucking Kristofferson's pig face?
I don't get it, and they abandon that.
Like,
right after the front of the movie.
He does it at the concert, like, I'm making a pig face.
Yeah, I don't get it. And then they just completely abandon that whole thing. He doesn't ever do it again after the very beginning.
No, but it was just like, dude, this is dumb.
Yeah, because he does it at the bar. When somebody's like, take your picture, and he does that.
Like, by the time you see him do the pig face for the second time, you realize, all the annoying sounds that are going to my ears, take that away, this is still going to be a really dumb movie. It's like 20 minutes in by that point. Maybe it was only like 10 minutes in.
It's a real slow mover.
It's dumb.
Heard someone talking about Mike Dirnt, the bass player for Green Day, and they were like, yeah, you know, that guy can tell a 5-minute story for 30 minutes. That's this movie.
Yeah.
This is a 20-minute story for an hour and a half.
Absolutely nothing happens. Absolutely nothing happens. Well, he gets in a fight with Robert Englund for some reason, because Robert Englund wants to be in his band.
Robert Englund wants him to go up and do a song with her.
Oh, okay.
And he's like, I'm just watching the show, go away.
And he's like, I paid for your...
His wife has all your albums. She bought whatever he's drinking or whatever. Like, she paid for it.
Just her.
Yeah, with buying the purchase of all of his albums, which
he's
set up as a one-hit wonder. Yeah, he's got 2 songs, apparently.
Yeah. So they get into fisticuffs and knock some shit over, interrupts Babs' star set. But then they bail, and she gets in a fucking limo with him. Like, hey, I'll go with you. Come on, let's sneak out the back door.
The fight breaks out, and she just leaves with him.
Yeah, like instant bestie. Yeah,
weird. One, she didn't get paid that way. No. I mean, you don't get paid before the set. You gotta, and usually you gotta, hassle the management to even get paid.
Exactly.
So she did that show for free. Unless the other 2 Oreos took the money, and they're not going to cut her in at that point.
The cookie sandwich ladies in the Oreos really got thrown under the bus.
Yeah.
Like, man, sucks to be you guys. At least you got rid of Babs finally. You kicked her out of the band. But now you guys don't get to do it.
But they come back later.
Because
they're not doing anything.
They're not doing anything.
Right, the next time you see them, they're doing a cat food commercial.
Yeah, oh, God, that's right, the cat food commercial.
So cats have feelings too.
At the radio station.
Well, they have some bullshit dialogue that doesn't make any sense in the back of the limo. She invites him over for breakfast, which consists of beef and biscuits.
I don't remember something about biscuits.
Is that what you guys got? It was definitely biscuits, but was it bread and biscuits, or...
I didn't know what the first part was. It didn't make any sense. It didn't sound like
and biscuits.
Breakfast in general.
Yeah, no.
And,
But she's trying to be all, sassy and, giving him the business. In the limo, I'm better than you.
Mm-hmm. Well, she's not easy. That's what we're all I am to...
customer.
Yeah, all I am to assume from this sequence is that's the setup that she's not a fast woman.
She seems pretty easy. They bone the next day.
Yeah, but she didn't. But usually the women in these mid-70s movies, people are just screwing all over the 70s. They're just screwing everywhere. Mm-hmm. Gonorrhea everywhere. It's like running in the streets. There's gonorrhea in the sewers.
Yeah. You get the herp on your face.
Yeah.
Well,
just going to LA and getting out of the airplane, you've got gonorrhea.
So breakfast is a lie. She doesn't make breakfast.
She doesn't make breakfast.
He sleeps outside in the limo.
Yeah, a block away.
2 hours.
Yeah.
7:05. We're gonna have breakfast at 7:05. Be here prompt at 7. Wait.
Why
not 7?
Why just get some sleep?
Yeah, you both are musicians. If you went to bed at 4:00 the night before, that means you were at the bar pretty fucking late.
Yeah,
doing your late set. That's your life. Get some sleep. Have breakfast at 10. Whatever.
But
then he gets the pizza. The chauffeur, gives him the pizza. And this was, I thought, one of the biggest head scratchers that I had in the whole movie. He walks in, she opens up the pizza and says, sausage pizza, and he says, no, it's pepperoni. Is she fucking retarded? Because they don't look the same at all.
No, they do not.
I think he was just really drunk, and he was like, no, it's pepperoni, because I just ate a slice out of this box before they said, roll.
Maybe.
But either, one of them is an idiot. At that point.
Absolutely.
I like how they just kind of smooth over it, like,
well, he isn't even there for her or the pizza. He just goes in there, says, have some pizza, and then uses her phone. Like, and without permission, just makes a phone call.
Hassles her about a drink, too, and starts drinking beer at 7 in.
What a turd. I mean,
he's got to make sure that there's room on the chopper for her to go to the concert, where he then rolls his somebody's motorcycle.
Wow, jumping a little.
I'm moving this story along.
Well, we're doing just fine. Well,
I'm bored already.
They take.
You picked this movie.
I know, that's how boring the movie was. I was like, let's talk about.
They take a helicopter to the concert, which is like Farm Aid. It's like Farm Aid size. It's huge.
Yeah, outdoor and was it the Coliseum before they closed it? I think it was.
I think so too.
And that was the Sammy Hagar spotting, was that he was a speck on the bottom. That was, according to the trivia, that was Sammy Hagar's band at the time, and I can't remember the band that was playing that show.
It's not Wango Tango?
No, it wasn't Wango Tango.
Mm. So, helicopter, rock stars, one-hit wonder rock stars don't have helicopters. They don't. Oh, Wango Tango. No, whiskey, or, Moss Tequila. That's what it is.
You keep doing that.
Anyways, the helicopter doesn't, no. One-hit wonders don't have helicopters. You take the fucking bus like everybody else. Mm-hmm. Even guys that have 10 albums still drive around in a fucking van. It's too expensive to have a helicopter. You don't have your own personal helicopter. I thought that was really stupid.
Flying them into a place that you just drive in your limousine that you already had.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, actually, they fly them in the helicopter to a fake ambulance, and then the ambulance drives them to the stage.
Right.
Why didn't they just get in the fake ambulance in the first fucking place?
Exactly. Well, he gets up on stage, and he's drunk and coked out again, and he cares 0% about the audience. Not at all. Which doesn't fly. You don't get to do any more shows if you don't put on a show. And he doesn't put on a show. He just turns his back to the audience and starts singing his crappy looking at you, looking at me, looking at you song to Babs.
Watch closely now. Are you watching me now? Your eyes are like fingers. They're touching my body and arousing my soul. Writing the passion arising inside me. How high can I go? You're coming with me, girl. I'm gonna show you how. When it's scary, don't look down. What is when it's scary, don't look down?
Oh, maybe the helicopter?
Well, that comes back in, this song doesn't make sense. And that was written by Paul Williams as well.
He gets, again, doesn't make it through a whole song, stumbles off stage, or he chases after her, and is like, oh, you should come out here. She won't do it. So she runs backstage, and there's some guy back there with a motorcycle, and he jumps into his arms and goes, gives him a big old kiss. He's like, "Go kiss me, you son of a bitch. Nice bike. You can have it.
It's yours."
Okay.
That guy looked a lot like a cross between Peter Fonda and John Tesh.
Yeah, a bit. Well, he jumps on the fucking motorcycle and does a bunch of brodies in the backstage, and then rides the motorcycle on stage. But I was like, holy shit, this is getting out of control, because he jumps the motorcycle 20 feet onto the stage, which I was like, shit, yeah. But then he does brodies on stage, fucks up all the equipment.
And then runs into the great big speakers and knocks him off the stage, and he falls.
Oh, he just...
And then the motorcycle guy, bails in after him, which is pretty funny.
It was pretty funny.
Sammy Hagar was playing in the band Montrose, fronted by Ronnie Montrose. So he was actually a player in that band. He wasn't even the front man.
There you go. Well, 17 people get injured during this motorcycle crash.
Or more.
They say specifically 17.
Oh, that's right. They did say that.
Because the next time you see him, he's in the pool.
He's in the pool in the
He's got a sprained wrist and a sprained ankle.
Did you notice that he had a hard time remembering to limp?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
He forgot to limp a lot.
I don't think he would have just got a sprained wrist and a sprained ankle. I think he would have fucked himself up pretty bad. If 17 people got injured...
Maybe those 17 people broke his fall.
The other thing is that how did the 17 people get injured? Because it showed the distance from the stage to the crowd, and there was a good 12 feet.
Yeah.
He just landed in some grass.
And then had the speakers land on top of him.
Yeah.
Crushing him to death.
No one got hurt other than him.
Wow, that's messy over there.
And the guy
I'm okay, though.
that bailed in after his motorcycle. This isn't gonna work, but I'm doing it anyway.
And he takes a belly flop off the stage,
Yeah,
too.
it was weird.
Hey! don't know how that made... Who edited this piece of shit? Did she edit it?
See, that's the thing that when we were watching it, when you see it because of how well the scenes are covered, that I just imagined that they shot everything 100 times. Because the snow in the mountains, like those desert sequences, they had to be shooting that crap for 6 months.
Yeah, for a while.
I bet this thing took forever to shoot, and I bet they spent like a year editing the damn thing, because they probably had miles and miles and miles of footage.
Well, he's in the pool being a dickhead, and a DJ shows up in a helicopter and is like, hey, come be on my radio station. Do radio stations have helicopters? I don't think that they do.
It's LA. They have the traffic copter. LA was, I think, the first traffic copter was LA.
I thought that those were fake. You just put traffic copter sounds behind the guy
think
going,
that 90%.
Oh, it's backed up real bad out there.
But having lived down there and watched LA, when you're watching TV or whatever, they have footage from the helicopter.
Yeah, but this helicopter didn't have like... Well, yeah, that's
like in a residential neighborhood.
Yeah, but they're owned by the same people.
So this DJ's like, I gotta get a helicopter. I'm gonna go over to the TV station, risk my job, kite this thing.
Yeah, it doesn't make any sense, because one, he's supposed to be washed up, so why are you able to get a helicopter to go after him?
Right.
Because that's the thing, is that spinning the helicopter up costs $10,000.
Yeah, I don't think that would have worked.
No.
I think that would have not been proved by his bosses.
And I'm pretty sure that the helicopter would have crashed.
And that was...
I think as well.
The famous LA DJ Machine Gun Kelly is who that is. Who looks a lot... uncanny resemblance to Fred Armisen.
Yeah.
Fred Armisen bears an uncanny
he was
resemblance.
Supposed to be Machine Gun Kelly, or he actually is Machine Gun Kelly?
He goes by MG Kelly, but that's his on-air persona.
Is he somebody, or am I thinking of Machine Gun Joe the Turbo?
You're thinking of Machine Gun Joe the Turbo.
Mr. the Turbo, who is awesome. Well, fucking Doodle Fritz, Kristofferson, John Howard Hughes Bay, whatever.
John Norman Howard,
which is a serial killer's name.
It is a serial killer name.
Let's face it. 3 names, starts with John, ends in Howard.
Well, there's 3
whatever you want in the middle.
First names.
3 first names.
3 first names
always
is always a classic sign of a serial killer.
Well, he's packing heat. Because he pulls out a fucking gun and starts shooting at the helicopter.
It was sitting on the table.
It was, like next to the... So they have a 38 next to some booze.
And a 38. The caterers brought... That's the caterers.
Which is 38. Really, that would be something if I was a rock star. I'd be pissed about that. I'd be like, okay, you got the right whiskey. Sure, I like hot dogs. A 38? What the hell am I?
What am I going to do with
this?
What
am I, a Girl Scout? Come on now. Give me a real gun.
I need an AR-15,
sorry, Mr.
fucker. I'm a big deal. I got 1 hit. Give me an AR.
At least a 45. Come on.
Something more than... Yeah,
and then Busey calls it in as, there's a sniper here.
But he doesn't say sniper. He says snapper in Busey talk. We got a snapper here.
Snapper. You're a snapper. Shoot.
Shoots people.
Snapper? Wait, I'm sorry, sir. This is 911. You are not trying to reach Red Lobster. Is that correct?
Yes.
Oh, there's snappers everywhere.
Yeah.
Damn
shit. Love him. So he doesn't go to jail.
No, because he's famous.
He goes to the recording studio where the DJ works at. The radio station also has a commercial recording studio. Doesn't make any fucking sense.
Mm-hmm.
The gals, the Oreos are in there singing cat commercials.
Cat cow.
Did you get the lyrics to the cat commercial?
No.
Oh, damn it.
That was a good one. It was like...
Kitty needs to get pet, or something like that.
It was like... Kitty needs to be fed. Meow, cat, chow.
Yeah.
Don't forget about old Fred. Because old fat cats have feelings too. Something like that.
Something like that.
Yeah, something like that. I was really
close to it.
And
then the Oreos are behind her going, along with it. And you're like, oh.
Pretty degrading.
And, he wants to apologize to
They
MG.
get fired from it, yeah. Because they can't do it. They're like, this is too stupid. You're fired.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right. Again, not getting paid.
Yeah, not getting paid.
So, but Kristofferson's here. What is his name again?
John Norman
Howard did shoot at the DJ, but he brings him a case of Jack Daniels, which is like, you know what? That's about as good of a peace offering as you can make to a DJ. So. I mean, like,
you were trespassing first off, so It's in his legal rights to shoot
at you.
Yeah.
He's trying to have a barbecue or something.
There's snappers everywhere.
And, the DJ's a dickhead about it.
He is a major dickhead. I thought he was a little like, that's going a little far, bro. Being a dickhead, calling him out on air, like, I'm not going to ever take your apology. You're a DJ, first off. That's A, not your decision.
Yeah.
And B, you're a fucking DJ. You
You
are desperate for anything.
And B, you're a DJ.
Yeah.
See? You're a DJ.
You are not. You are the least big deal of all time.
Yeah.
Oh.
You spin discs. But anyways, so he finds her. They go on some romance. They start, like, now they're setting up the love. It's the next day, basically.
She's been ducking him.
Well, not really.
No, because he says that when he's in the pool before he shoots the helicopter.
He does.
Like, why isn't she calling me back?
Because
and
you left her
like,
at fucking Budokan.
Makes a very good point in the movie, like, why do you care? Because why do you care?
Well, let's think about the timeline here.
Every other woman in this movie is hotter than her.
He meets her.
And they're not hot.
The next day, they have pizza for breakfast. They go to the concert. The next day, he's at the pool. We're to infer that the next day, or maybe even later that day, he brings the whiskey to the DJ.
There is an indeterminate amount of time between
it's not
him
very
going
long.
off. Yeah.
She hasn't had much of an opportunity to duck him. He was in the hospital for some time, let's say. And
Probably
she's stuck in Cleveland or whatever fucking town that concert's at.
So let's say that it's been about a week.
I would say that it's
say
probably
2 days.
like the next day.
I think either the next day or the day after that. But either way, they are now into the romance phase. They go back to his place and start touching each other's
faces. Bring me your last straw. I turn straw into gold. I'm gonna need you later when you're not around. But I can take it. Don't look down. Again! What's down there that not to look at? Because I've read every lyric to this song,
crabs.
And I don't understand why you're not supposed to look down.
I don't either.
Maybe he's got deformed genitals.
Don't look down.
Because the crabs are springboarding off of pubic hair. I don't want you to see them before I
get one in the eye. They're jumping bastards. Snappers. So they have some face feeling, and then they go into the bathtub. And it's
one of my favorite scenes when she's
they hug each other in the bathtub. But they're surrounded by Schlitz beers.
Schlitz beers as
candle holders.
Schlitz.
That's the least romantic thing I could possibly think of.
Schlitz is really paying. I don't know how much money they gave, but they got showcased in this
everywhere.
thing.
Schlitz is all over the damn place.
And
that's all he drinks is Jack and Schlitz.
Yeah, and then she starts dressing him up as a tranny.
Dressing him up as a bejazzled clown face man.
Puts like gems in his eyebrows and then puts blush on him. It's like, and they're both laughing like this is a sexy romantic.
Funny
this is
and
sexy
awesome.
and funny.
We're the best couple ever.
And I'm thinking, if I tried to do that to Justin, he'd be like, "What the hell are you doing? Get out of here!
Do not touch me! Do not touch me!" Right
why are we in the bathtub? Yeah. What are we doing in here? Baths are gross.
I so wanted her to fart. Like, I wanted to see some bubbles float up. I love farting in the bathtub. I think it's just classic humor. So the next thing that happens...
Do you think Kristofferson did that to her?
Okay, he was drunk. He diarrheaed in the tub, I bet. Oh, God, no. It's brown. So the next thing that happens is they have the Indian relief benefit.
And I couldn't find... I think it was Chief Joseph.
I think it's Chief Joseph, but it was an awkward stage set. Just some Indian guy's face. Like, oh, this is the Indian relief benefit.
I thought that... Didn't they do some recording with her before that?
Yeah, they did.
They did some recording with her before that.
He started producing her album.
Oh, that's right. That's right. They had that shitty jam
which
section.
had the lyric that I wrote down here was, "Let's build a city and play the cello."
I want everything. I want to build a city
and play the cello.
Play the cello. That made no sense.
Oi, 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 oi. Yeah, the Chief Joseph thing. Let's try to put that into some other terms. Like, it's a charity event for underprivileged inner city children. You go to this, and there's just some picture of some poor black kid staring at you the whole time. No, You don't, you just put it on your regular show. You don't just put Chief Joseph back there like, hey, we care about you guys, obviously, because we got Chief Joseph on the wall.
That's classic movie producer business. Like, oh, wait, they're not going to remember without a visual representation of the Native Americans that this is a benefit. It's like, you said it, it's good enough.
Yeah, it's good enough. It's actually not even pertinent to the plot at all. It could just be some undisclosed concert.
We've made it worse by trying to make it better.
That Barbara Streisand, for a majority of the time that she's on stage, that Chief Joseph picture is not there. And then at the very end of that song, her first song, then it kind of creeps back up on the wall behind her, and I'm like...
Then lost the projection for a while.
Because Chief Joseph is more important to history than Barbara Streisand will ever be.
Either that or she didn't want to share stage time with an Indian.
Nobody upstages Barbara Streisand. Not even Chief motherfucking Joseph.
I believe her line was, and I quote, I will sing for Indian relief benefits from this day from where the sun now stands. I don't know what Chief Joseph says. What did he say? From where the sun now stands, I will fight no more forever.
Yes.
Yeah, she says that, but about singing.
She also said roller skates are like cars for your feet.
All right.
That's a gem. Well, I love that again, he is at his concert. It's his concert, and he doesn't finish the song. Pulls her out on stage and is like, your turn to entertain these assholes. And they're booing again because they're pissed.
Right, and what's his line? He says, now we've heard your act, now shut the fuck up and give somebody a new chance.
Yeah, it's your concert, buddy. You would be sued for this, and he does get sued.
And that's the other, like, sure, you want her to do a tune? You can play your one fucking song before you send her out there.
So, it's like, we said it was like wanting to go see Europe, and instead you get Celine Dion.
Celine Dion, yeah.
Terrible.
So you're already pissed because you're like, God damn it, I knew I shouldn't have came to the Europe show. You're pissed because you're there.
And then final countdown.
And then they fucking pull a switcheroo on you. You get Celine Dion singing the Sacagawea soundtrack. Or Pocahontas, it's not Sacagawea. That would be worse if she actually just made up a soundtrack to a movie about Sacagawea that doesn't even exist. Like, that's the pitch for it, is the Western Idaho Fair, and Celine Dion's doing Sacagawea tunes.
Sacagawea in the woods are turning light.
Big banner over the top that says Walt Disney, is it too early to whisper Oscar?
So she becomes uber famous by doing this one show at the Indian Relief Benefit, which probably, let's face it, probably doesn't have a whole lot of television broadcasting. Like,
no.
You pretty much got the guys in the town that saw this, but she instantly becomes a mega
everybody's
superstar.
Backstage waiting. Yeah. Backstage.
All
to be her manager.
CBS is there. The fucking BMG Records is there. You got fucking David Geffen's there trying to get her autographed. Sign my boob, Lady Streisand. Just ego. Such a big ego. But now, because she's super famous, she goes on tour. And he can't go. Because he is a liability.
No, they get married.
They get married. That's right. Like, the next
actual
day,
justice of the peace marries them as well.
3 days into their relationship, they are now married.
Mm-hmm.
The justice of the peace shows up and marries them outside and then gives them a present that has douche in it. That's all we find out is that it's strawberry douche. Which I think was like...
Was that the point, though? Like, is that...
Justice of the Peace saying...
Where we get to... I mean, that's like an hour and 13 minutes when Act 2 starts.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, and that's when we first go to the desert.
Yeah, they have their honeymoon in a Jeep. It's either a Willys or it's a Jeep, but either way, it's a military Jeep vehicle. Now, I know a little bit about those era of cars. They don't have good suspensions. Or comfortable suspensions. The seats are just a flat bucket metal pan with springs underneath them, so you bounce all over the fucking place. They don't have power brakes. They don't have power steering. They don't have air conditioning. And that's what you drive to the honeymoon.
They also
I think that was like, take that,
really,
Barbara Streisand. You're going to get that into this shitty Jeep and bounce around, you bitch.
Like, 50 is pushing it in those things.
Yeah.
Like, 50 is very dangerous speed in one of those Jeeps. So they went on... It seems to be the middle of the Mojave Desert. From L.A., that's a good 2-hour drive in that thing. That's no good.
Yeah, and he's driving a little hot.
Yeah.
Not being safe. Well, he owns a ranch out there. 180,000 acres or something.
Just open land. I don't know why he called it a ranch. At no point, I guess he does get some horses eventually.
Did he?
Yeah, there was horses. Remember he's doing...
Oh, they ride,
He was riding around. He was riding the motorcycle around in the horses.
Yeah, that's
in
true.
A circle.
Well, they fucking
dangerous.
build a house. The stupidest part of the whole movie, I thought, was the two of them, rock stars,
build a house.
And
it's an architectural masterpiece.
They've got... He's a cocaine-addicted drunk that can't even finish a concert, but he can fucking finish a house?
Yeah.
He can, because Barbara Streisand has the white Superman shirt with the white, very short shorts.
And she knows karate and can fight a
and her white
bulldozer.
her white socks with the red stripe on the top that go all the way up to her knee, and a pair of white tennis shoes.
It was infuriating. Like, how fucking dumb do you think we are? These two built a house. Impossible. Like, at first, I thought that I saw the teepee outside. I was like, oh, it's okay. They just built the teepee. But no, they built an entire adobe house.
Yeah,
what
is the teepee even doing out there? Like,
so that's next to the windmill.
That's where he just goes out and does drugs.
Yeah, exactly, and chirps it.
That's where he's keeping all the Schlitz.
Yeah, the Schlitz teepee.
Well, she goes on tour and he can't go because he's a liability.
But,
it's told that he can't go.
Which I also was like, that was dumb because he's married to her, right? Mm-hmm. And the manager's like, you can't go. Mm-hmm. It's only her. And he was like, I think you should do it on your own. I don't want to do it. And it's just like, you're married. Just tell her straight up, you're not allowed to go.
Yeah, I'm a drunk.
Save yourself.
I wreck everything and I can't finish a song.
Yeah.
But still, he should be able to go, like, backstage. Which he does anyways. He's told not to. He goes backstage anyways.
He's allowed to go. He's just not allowed to perform.
Well, then why was she like, I don't want to do this alone. I'm scared.
She wanted him to play, like, doing...
So what? Fuck, you're a musician. It's not like you've never been on stage before.
Well, it was like the benefit concert or whatever.
Some vulnerability with
they were trying to make her look good, and
she was trying to make her look good.
Yeah,
empathy
let's redo
for
that.
her. Oh, what a tragic figure.
Well, it was just like
you.
The damn scene with them in the Native American benefit concert is... She's like, no, I can't go out. And then once she's out there, she's like, just going to town. Yeah.
She's like, I didn't prepare anything. And then she rips off her pantsuit and she's got this sequin gown on.
She's got a fucking flying squirrel outfit on. That's very fancy is basically what it is.
Very fancy.
So they don't have a montage. I thought this was also strange. I've never seen this before in a movie. A compilation of clips of her touring instead of a montage. Usually you want to use a montage there. Mm-hmm. Instead it's just jump cuts from concert. Like 2-second clips like, I'm singing over here, now I'm over here, then I'm over there, I'm in Cleveland, I'm in Detroit, I'm in over here, wherever that is. Mm-hmm. The Western Idaho Fair. Very strange. But, again, with the editing, it was just another, editing moment.
Don't lie, your mom would go to Barbara Streisand, wouldn't she?
You think?
Your mom, she strikes me as a Barbara Streisand
You think? Lady. This is my mom's favorite movie.
Really?
Yes. This is her favorite movie of all time that has ever existed. And it is a colossal piece of shit.
You know what? I'm going to buy her the soundtrack.
It's somehow
I guarantee you she's already got it.
She's already, yeah.
Yeah,
you're
spinning your wheels there, buddy.
Yeah.
Damn.
I mean, it's just surprising that this was able to eclipse RoboCop 3.
Yeah. I don't know. Yeah.
He is the nicest man.
I'm telling you, your mom's in love with Kristofferson.
You think?
A lot of people's moms are in love with Kristofferson.
My mom loves him. Yeah. I love him.
Well, anyways, Kristofferson gets kicked out of his band somehow. The John Norman Howard Speedway band just becomes Freeway at that point.
Mm-hmm.
And
Freeway.
Why can't they just... what is it again? John
Norman Howard.
It's because it's John Norman Howard and Speedway.
Mhm.
Why did they change it to Freeway?
Yeah, why not
They're
just be
already
Speedway?
Speedway.
Yeah.
It doesn't make any
Nobody
sense.
does that.
Because they're motoring, Sam.
So now
What's your
he's
flight
pissed.
tonight?
Oh.
He's pissed, and he's going down the tubes. He's drinking too hard, and
Well,
and,
he'd sobered up while they were out in the desert, and
Right.
then this happens, and then he
now
turns
he's back
into
on
a drunk.
the wagon. Well, she wins the Grammy for best female singing artist,
Best new artist.
best new female singing.
I thought it
artist.
was best female performance.
I don't know. I couldn't
She
tell.
wins a fucking Grammy.
And at the worst Grammy ceremony ever.
It's in the conference room conference room B of the Beverly Hilton.
There's literally tens of people there. and
There's like
and
4
Tony Orlando
tables.
and some other bimp. Who is the bimp?
Oh no, she's bigger a deal than Tony
Rita.
Orlando. Rita. Shit.
I know one famous Rita, and she was not Rita.
She's not
Hayworth.
Rita Hayworth.
I
no.
can't remember what her name was, but yeah, I'd never heard of her before.
Lovely Rita meter maid.
No.
Well, he shows up and totally fucks up her acceptance speech. Like, the biggest douche. Like, how did he even get in it? Let's think about this. I believe that you have to be invited to the
they
Grammys,
said
and you
something
have to have
about-
tickets, and I believe that there is a guy out front that takes your tickets and prevents other people that shouldn't be going in there from going in there.
He had a ticket. She had
That's
an
fine.
open seat right next to
Can
her.
I see your
waiting.
ticket, sir? Oh my god, you smell like a fucking trash can. Get the fuck out of here. You're not going in there.
Yeah, he should have been bounced.
Yeah. I believe that's what they're called. Bouncers. Novel. Well, he goes in there, says the fuck word on TV.
Justin, I just want you to know that when I get a famous award for being a doctor, it's okay to bust in there and be a drunk with your tuxedo on and be like, you don't thank anybody! You did this on your own!
I'm going to go to that website, the shipsomepoo.com, whatever that was that we were talking about last night.
Uh-huh.
And I'm going to order some poo, and I'm going to dress it up like you got an award for being a doctor, and it's going to be the award for being the doctor of bullshit. Here's some shit. That's going to be your doctor award from me.
Rita Coolidge.
Rita Coolidge.
Nope, sorry, that was a stretch. I was saying it was okay for you to be a drunk
Oh, okay.
if I win, and then to come in and make a spectacle
Well,
of
is it
yourself.
still okay for me to mail you some poo?
You know, only if you really... Don't be cheapening out on cow poo. I mean, I've got some standards here. I really like some of the African animal poos, you know, like giraffe,
So,
gorilla.
knowing that people know about this mailing the poo thing,
Mm-hmm.
that it's been around for a while, how much shit do you think Barbara Streisand gets every day?
Oh my god.
Oh!
Holy shit. That's on my to-do list now.
Yeah.
I guess you're not getting poo now. Hooray! I know somebody else who is. Fuck. So, he goes back to the house, his actual house, his rich man house, not his Adobe ranch house. And there's some other bimp who is not good looking. Let's face it,
She's weird.
See,
looking.
that's
very homely.
it seems to me that most of the women cast in this film were done as not to look better than Barbara Streisand, yet they all still do,
Well,
and they're not good looking.
this one's pretty ugly. Like, she is the one that at 2 a.m. is still at the end of the bar, drunk off her ass, and still no one will take her home. Yeah. Except for maybe Bill Henry. But they have a conversation. She's a
She's not a
newspaper
dude.
reporter.
Bill's gonna leave her back.
They
He
have
just gets drunk and dirty dances with his friends, man.
Right, and pisses in the stove.
This is in the stove.
That was so funny. So they have some dumb blog about how she's a reporter for the Rolling Stone.
She's a freelancer.
And it wants to do an interview. Oh, you want to do an interview, huh? And she's like, oh, you should ask Frank. He says I'm terrific. I'll do anything for this interview. And then she finishes the sentence with like, Frank comes on me all the time. Or some shit like that. Frank poops on my
gets
face.
off.
Yeah, gets
Frank
off
gets
on me
off
all
on
the
me
time.
all the time.
Okay. So then they have sex.
Right, but then she blows it because she's got his band's t-shirt on. She's like making it seem like the interview is for him, and then she's like, but I want an interview with Esther, his wife.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
And then he's like, fuck you, bitch. I'm gonna go bang the shit out of your butthole. I hope it bleeds, and then you get the fuck out.
But he's too cooked up and drunk to get a hard-on.
Right.
From what she says. So they're just kind of like hanging out naked in bed, I guess.
Well, Streisand comes home.
The reporter is also the full-on biggest dumbass of the millennium, because she's like, oh, I'll just do the interview right now. I'm sure you'll be comfortable and prepared to do an interview just having caught your husband buffing me, or attempting to buff me. Ugly lady. Go. What's she gonna what did she honestly expect to say? It all started in 1964 when I sang my first song called Lullaby, and was about bees and, hummingbirds. No. She's gonna be like, get the fuck out of my house before I fucking stab you, you stupid bitch. But then, so Babs is mad. This is what I wrote down. So she gets pissed, and when she gets pissed, she gets fucking horny.
Yeah, so that's, again...
I'm so mad!
Perpetuating the cycle. Classic bullshit. So, take him back after he just screws some lady.
And then have sex with him, like
3 minutes later.
Immediately afterwards.
3 minutes later.
But I guess maybe
and that's when Act 3 finally starts,
right.
is after that.
Because it goes back to the desert, so we know we're in Act 3 now.
There's a dissolve.
Right.
As well, so it actually breaks the footage up. At that point, I think I wrote down that I had some chili on my leg.
Mm-hmm. It's good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's more eventful than anything that happens in this movie.
Yeah.
We did have some nice chili. It was good.
Tasty. I think speaking of food, we're going to wrap this up here pretty quick, but I think you should make apology dinner to me.
No.
I should get that sandwich just the way I like it. You guys owe me. For whatever bet that was.
Traumatizing
So
you.
they have some lovey talk, moo, and he eventually promises her somehow that he's never going to die. And she says something like, are you looking at me? He's like, yeah, I'm looking at you, looking at me, looking at you. I see you, baby.
Right, because she tells him, you fucked up my life.
Mm-hmm.
You fucked up your own life. You're not going to fuck up mine, too. And that's...
No, that was during the fight.
Yeah, during the fight.
They're back
at
the ranch now.
He brings it back up at the ranch. Like, I remember what you said to me. And she's like, I don't... Oh. She's all trying to play it off like, no, I would never say anything to you. Like,
she should be mad and say things because he was boning some lady.
Some
drowned rat.
Drowned rat, exactly. That's what she looked like.
And, yeah, but she's like, I didn't say anything that bad, I love you.
Yeah, they're all back down to smoochy smoo kissy wissy. And so he then cracks open a Schlitz and decides to go for a drive in his
she's still in bed.
365 Daytona.
And then he's, like, doing all this, I love you, and, like, touching her face and stuff as she's in bed or whatever. He's like, I gotta go pick up Brian, whoever the hell that guy is.
Fucking Brian.
He's the manager.
Oh.
And
fun.
So
he's the producer.
Busey was the manager.
Yeah, Busey's the manager. Brian's the producer.
Right, so he cracks his beer, you're right, and gets into his,
Ferrari, and then drives too fast and wrecks it and dies. Yay!
And you don't even see the wreck. Like, you just know that he's driving all crazy and then he goes over to the rising.
That would have cost money.
365 GTB right now sells for about $1.6 million. In 1976, let's just say that it would have been $800,000. Big money. Well, no, it wouldn't have been because that would have been a new car. I think those sold for 20, 25, no, 30, 40? Somewhere in there. I don't know what the MSRP on a 1976 365 GTB would have been, but it would have been expensive. You don't wreck a Ferrari. The one that you saw was not the actual Ferrari. That was a model. Right? Am I right? Yeah, I'm
probably.
Right.
Right. He's fucking dead. Hooray. She has some awkward, her Oscar-winning scene. Well, she didn't win the Oscar. She won the fucking Golden Globe for her acting in this movie. She does a terrible
her and the
job.
Manager ride a helicopter to the accident scene. And there's Kristofferson, and he's, like, laying there next to the car. And they're like, no seatbelt, no roll bar. And then she, like, comes up, she's like, give him another blanket.
He's cold. He seems cold to me.
She's, like, feeling him, like...
More face touching.
He's fucking dead, dude. Like, But she looks like she's checking him for a fever, like you would check a little kid.
That's what I thought, too.
And then she's, like, hanging on to his body. I'm like, you know what? It's probably been at least an hour. I'm pretty sure that body stinks, and that he has now officially shit himself, which happens after death.
Yeah, the flies are buzzing around.
Yeah.
So, well, she gets the house with nothing in it, which doesn't make any sense. Why did they take the stuff?
The stuff. She was the one making the money. Why are they taking the stuff?
He's washed up. He doesn't have any income coming in. None at all. and they take the stuff.
Which doesn't make sense.
Maybe it was in his will or something like those.
Take the stuff.
Like, no,
That's
like
his will. All it just says is take the stuff.
take the stuff.
Take the stuff. Don't let that bitch have anything.
So then she has some sort of tribute concert for him.
One of the workmen finds a tape
recorder with him singing one of his dumb songs.
Right.
You walked in, shoveled in, with sperm in your hair. Type crap. Oh, give all your shirt.
With you.
Do you have that song?
No.
Oh, god damn it.
So then,
it was really dumb.
And then we close with a tribute concert where she's singing like a montage of all of his songs.
Yeah. Which starts out about wanting to see him again, just one more time, see his face again.
That was the one that was on the tape recorder.
Then it turns into sexy time. The eyeballs feeling me up.
Me, you, are you looking at me? Are you looking at me?
Yeah, feeling me up. I'm getting horny and aroused. So, and then she does a weird bird impression while she's singing it. Because I'm an eagle! And then she like flaps her wings and makes a bird face.
Where I was doing the thing
Which
with
was easy because have you seen that lady's beach?
That was what inspired my song about pizza flies like eagles. Because it didn't make any sense. Like, what are you talking about, lady?
So this is the worst part of the whole movie, is a 7.5 minute close-up of her singing this fucking medley. And then, I looked this up, it's another 2.5 minutes freeze-framed of her face during the credits are rolling.
I'm glad we didn't watch all that.
Oh, god damn it. That's the end of the movie. Here's your fucking Golden Globes, Streisand. Now we've done exactly what you wanted us to do. We've given your ego justification for itself.
Ugh.
Nice work, guys.
Ugh.
Nice work, $323 million assholes that saw this movie. Nice work, me, for paying $3 to have it to see it.
Yeah, she's still making money.
That fucking bitch.
I heard a weird thing, though, about Barbara Streisand, where she doesn't listen to any of her albums or watching the films.
It's because it's shit. She knows.
But she waits. She waits like something like
I'm not watching that. I was in that.
I know. I was there. I know that's not going to be good.
But I heard, I don't know if it's true, but I heard that she like waits 10 years to revisit something.
Oh yeah, I've heard. She did that with
because she's
Barbara Walters or whatever interview.
Like she's just too. I guess she's really hypercritical of herself.
Yeah.
Well, let's wrap this up. Recommends.
Oh, I wouldn't fucking touch this with a 10-foot pole.
Jackie?
Yes, I would.
You're going to recommend this movie?
You're going to recommend this movie.
There's still 20-some hours left on our rental for this. I'm probably going to stay up tonight and watch it again.
Oh.
You're fucking kidding me.
You're crazy.
How? Why?
I don't know. I just like Kristofferson.
Watch Millennium. Sam brought Millennium down. We'll watch Millennium.
I wrote "fuck you, Jackson" down 5 times on this piece of paper.
Yeah, dude.
That was most of my notes.
This
just being pissed.
Is number 1 on my do not watch movie list.
I don't know how you didn't award this.
I would not wish this upon my worst enemy.
Because you gave it 2 stars on IMDb.
I'm telling you, get a free star for Busey.
Busey. That's the thing, is that I am now going to make an IMDb account solely so that I can award this film 1 star.
You get a free star for Busey, in my opinion.
I don't care. I hate this movie.
I hate this movie. Absolutely hate it. I will never view this film again. I will never watch Barbara Streisand on celluloid again. I will never buy one of her records. I will never listen to one of her records. In fact, if anybody was to hand me a pile of Barbara Streisand records, I would immediately have a fire. I would just, wherever I'm at, okay, let's put a fire together.
The moment
right
that you
here.
Develop your superpower.
I don't care. I don't care if it's in the middle of the mall, a fucking school, a hospital, somebody's funeral. I'm lighting that shit on fire right then.
You know what would be totally dick? Is if I took your USB drive out of your car and put nothing but Streisand on it.
No, that's the running joke is Frampton Comes Alive. People have been doing that to me for 10 years now. So.
Did you get the Roman Frampton?
Yeah, Roman Frampton to me this weekend. So, yeah. Don't do anything we just said, by the way. Do not send me pictures of Peter Frampton or anything to do with that. On that bombshell, get to the chopper.